Now, I know that you know how important engaging with your community is, but I sometimes think people get lost in how to go about it because it's just like another thing to do. So first of all, we're going to change our little mindset on it. And then today I'm going to give you guys literally just breaking it down minute by minute, an engagement plan for you so that you don't feel super stressed about this important community building, connection building activity that you need to do in your business. Now, because this is a 15-minute plan that I'm about to share, I do want to be transparent. I think that you do need more than 15 minutes a day if you are trying to do this seriously. But obviously, everyone that watches our channel is at a different level. So if you are a full-time creator, I would definitely ramp this up to at least 2 times a day, potentially even 3. And if you're just starting out, once could work for you. Now, I kind of want to break up today's tasks kind of on level of priority, right? So high priority engagements are different. So I'll give you an example, like responding to DMs and comments, high priority. Engaging with other people, I always put that towards the end because it's like, if you can get to it, because obviously responding to your people is the most important. Let's start off with the first minute 1 through 3, responding to direct messages. I put responding to DMs as the first high priority because I feel like if someone is DMing you, it's even more personal than just commenting, and they are kind of like a little bit more of a loyal fan. I don't know how to explain it. Like if you're just commenting, like anyone can comment, but DMing someone just feels more personal, and therefore I've ranked it as a higher priority item. So I would say part of the engagement strategy, if you're not doing this yourself, you're giving it to an assistant, I would definitely take notes on today's video. I'll include the steps below as well so you can copy and paste them. But basically I would have them start off with minute 1 through 3, just responding to DMs, like quickly going in and responding to DMs. Now, depending on the level of where you're at, if you have way more DMs, you may have to eat into other minutes that we're talking about right now. If you're doing this twice a day or 3 times a day, you can probably get through your DMs quicker. I actually had an influencer the other day who has like 300,000 followers, and she was like, Nina, my DMs take me more than 2 minutes. Like, it is crazy. She's like, imagine having 300,000 people know your phone number. She's like, it is exhausting, like the amount of DMs in there. So obviously, if you're at that level, you can do 1 to 2 minutes, but you may be outsourcing this task. If you're doing it yourself, I still would prioritize it as a high priority item to try to get through your DMs, unless you are outsourcing it to someone else, in which case they should still be doing it for you top level. Now, when it comes to responding to DMs, if you're watching this and you are a more advanced influencer, you may want to use Instagram's saved replies or FAQ styles, right? If you're getting the same question over and over again, having canned responses. So if you want to have that inside your Instagram settings, great. If you just want to have a note on your iPhone, like notes, like commonly asked questions, you can just go in there and copy and paste similar responses. Do that. Like if you know you have a video that everyone comes to you being like, where did you get this? Where did you do this? Just have the answer already pre-drafted. Trust me, it is going to save you time with your direct message strategy, because sometimes people do ask always like the same thing. And having that canned response is just helpful to get through those DMs quicker. Now, let's go on to the second priority, which is responding to comments, minute 4 through 6. Now, I do want to preface that I would plan your engagement time on Instagram, aligning it when you are posting, right? So let's just say you post at 10 a.m. You don't want to do this at 9 a.m. You want to like start your engagement when the content goes live. Why? Because once the content is live, that's when you should be responding to comments, and that's when you should be engaging with people. So again, you as that creator, depending on how your content does, you may want to move this section a little bit further down the line, or before you wrap up, go back and finish this up and do this part again before you close out for the morning. Because responding to comments while the content is active and doing well is really great for the algorithm. Obviously, like we have seen direct results from this, and we have seen when we don't. Like if we post it and we don't check it and people are commenting and we don't get back, I don't know, it just does not do as well versus if you are in there. So if you are planning out your engagement strategy, make sure you link it to today's plan. Obviously, guys, meaningful comments, humanistic, not LOL, great, or emoji fire. That's not engaging. Trust me. Have you guys ever like commented on someone who you look up to for content you like and they actually respond to you as a human? Doesn't that like set something off? You're like, oh my God. So don't just as a respond emojis, like actually respond, be like, you know, humanistic, just again, authentic. Thank you so much for taking the time to like leave this, or I totally agree. Like I just checked out your page too. Like, I don't know, because I don't know what they commented, so I can't like guess that for you. But in this little section, when you are responding to comments, I want you to respond meaningful. All right, so next on the list, minutes 7 through 9, I would say engage with anyone that is responding to your stories. Now, similarly, that could be like responding to DMs, but I think it's a little bit different because people who are responding to your DMs oftentimes it's like very question-based, or they're trying to develop conversations with you. But responding to stories is obviously, I consider a high priority item as well. So I always try to have that like done up front before we start engaging with new accounts. So anyone that does take that time again to respond with you on a story, just write back. Now, these don't have to be crazy long, meaningful. It's more just like acknowledgement, like thanks so much, or, giving them like, hey, I saw this. Thank you for responding. It creates almost like a goodwill, because then people want to keep engaging with you because they know that you're going to respond. Now, again, I do have a lot of influencers I work with that outsource this, and they have people just kind of create those meaningful comments speaking on behalf of them. And they rather do that on the IG story replies than technically, like, again, deep direct messages, because those are like oftentimes questions that people may have that are a little bit more intense or complicated to answer, versus like if someone's like, oh my gosh, love this. And you're like, thanks so much. Again, obviously we always want to be meaningful, but we also got to be practical, right? So the next bucket here is obviously engaging with people who engage with your stories. Now, the next step for me, now we got through the things that are on your page, right? People coming to you. Now, the next step for me is, instead of going to random cold people on the internet and like engaging with them, if we're going to allocate any time, I would say engage with your followers' content. So minute 10 to 12, again, is you going on the people that comment on your stuff and reciprocating that love, checking them out, commenting on their stuff. Building really true online friendships. I know it feels kind of weird because you're like, I don't know this person, but how many of you guys, tell me right now in the comments, how many of you guys feel like you have online friends? You're like, we've never met, but we always comment on all our stuff and we're super supportive. These are the type of people you want to have in your tribe, because guess what? As you grow as a creator, they will stick around with you. And as they grow, you will stick around with them. I know it feels weird, but if I was, again, doing this plan, I would tell you, focus on yourself first and the stuff that comes to you. And then next, we got to go reciprocate. And if we're going to reciprocate with anyone, again, time is limited. If we're going to reciprocate with anyone, reciprocate with those who put love into your account. Go give love to theirs. I'm telling you, there's something very special about those friendships that develop, that support system that develop. It makes people feel seen by you and heard by you. So why don't we do this? If you're liking this video so far, let me know. Make me feel seen. Go ahead and give it a like so I can know that you guys want me to keep making these styles of videos for you. Remember, your net worth is your network, and you never know who you're going to hang out with, in real life because you met them online. Look at us here at Sidewalker Daily. We are going on a huge creator retreat this summer with a bunch of creators who probably a lot of us started off just by liking each other's stuff and commenting on each other's content. So build that support system. Now, the last and final step or minute, if we were going to allocate, if we're going to be real specific, minute 13 to 15, we're going to take a few minutes here at the end. You know what I would do? I would then now go engage with other similar accounts in your niche. People that you don't know, okay? This is people that have no idea who you are, but then they see you and you commented on their stuff and they're like, oh, they click your profile and they're like, oh, this person looks cool. Or they're in my industry, or maybe I should follow along. And that's why we always say, like, make sure your bio is optimized, make sure your content looks legit, and everything is like ready. Because when you start engaging with people that you don't know, right? Not people that comment on your stuff, but like a random account in your niche, you want to grow your following and you want to bring them into that network, into that support system. Now, this could be people that are in similar niches as you. These could be industry speakers. This could be engaging with people on the brand side. How many of us have used Instagram engagement to get brands to come to us? I know here at Sidewalker Daily, a lot of the people that I work with in the beginning, they don't like to pitch. They get a little nervous. They want brands to come to them. And what better way to get a brand to come to you than engaging with a brand on social media, like engaging on their page, right? Not only the brand's page, the PR professional's page. If you want brands to notice you and come to you first, you're in luck, because we have a little mini course. It's called the How to Get Brands to Notice You course. It's not our big pitching course, but it is just strategies to get brands to come to you first, to notice you, so that they can be the ones that start that conversation and then you can finish it up. So if you are looking for like a little bite-sized course to get you started so that brands reach out to you, this is the perfect program for you, and I will leave that link below. Now, obviously, you guys, this routine is cut up into little micro minutes, right? We did minute like 10 to 13 and things with 13 to 15. We got really micro here. That's a perfect world. Again, if you have an assistant, you can just give them this as an outline. But really what it comes down to is figure out what works for you. There's really two parts: engaging with people who engage on your page, right? Responding to that incoming lead, and then thinking, okay, I got to go water this garden. I can't just be worried about me. I got to go give back. I got to go engage with others, right? So it is a little bit of a two-part strategy here. The most important thing is always just optimizing these flows, like tweaking it, making it work for you, being authentic in your engagements. Like, again, not just simple emojis, but making people feel seen, heard, validated, right? That is the most important part of the engagement, is quality conversations, quality connections, and quality community building, because you are the founder of your little community online, right? So you're that leader, and you need to set that tone by providing meaningful conversation to the people that come to you and spend time commenting with you. You can always be super optimized, like we talked about, by saving replies, having canned responses, using IG's saved replies, or saving it on your notes to help you get a little bit more efficient. And hopefully today's video, or if you're listening on the podcast, has inspired you just to take that extra 15 minutes a day to water that proverbial garden, so to speak, so that you also get what you give, right? A lot of engagement is like, you got to put yourself out there. Now, this is a 15-minute plan. Like I said, I would recommend twice a day. Even if you're only posting once a day, I would still do this twice a day. Don't go to bed with things like kind of rolling over, but give yourself also that cutoff. Like, hey, after 7 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Eastern or 10 p.m., whatever you want, I'm not going to be going in anymore, because Instagram can be a total time suck. And if you don't have these sort of time blocks or little engagement strategy systems in place, you're going to spend a whole lot of time wasting your time and scrolling and doom scrolling, and you're not going to get anywhere. And I don't want that for you. So hopefully today's video has helped you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I will see you in the next video.